Uh, Passive, I would say that. I mean, the biggest one I always come back to is obviously sleep, is obviously rest. I mean, that's going to be where your system repairs, where it recovers. Everything else is kind of a distant second to that. I think that's also one of the hardest ones to control. Most people are busy. Most people, for better or for worse, get about the minimum amount of sleep that they need. So we're left with kind of other recovery means. I think the biggest thing, of course, is a proper cool down, and I think a lot of people skip that. For a lot of people, you see, can't tell you how many times I write on athletes' workouts, 7-minute cool down at on the Airdyne at 30 RPM, or, 7-minute fast walk cool down. So for a lot of people, that means, walk back to the car and go home and have a beer. That's kind of missing the point. It is so critical. I tell a lot of people that the cool down in a lot of ways is more important than the warm up. Early phases of a workout, you can kind of get moving, and even on your first interval, your first repeat, your first work set, you're still getting warmed up. But when people skip the cool down, they're going straight from 100% performance to absolutely none. And especially for higher intensity activity, for lifting, for repeats, for sprints, things like that. Having a proper cool down program, something to keep the blood flowing, to get the muscles moving throughout the full range of motion, to reperfuse the joints, because a lot of high intensity activity, certainly you are not necessarily improving circulation. While you're in motion, for example, while you're sprinting, while you're doing airdyne sprints, there's blood flow going to your legs. But when you stop, when things just freeze up at that point, the blood flow basically it basically stops. Everything occludes a little bit. So anything you can do to slowly ramp yourself back down to a relaxed state is really the way to go. When it comes to contrast baths, saunas, things like that, I mean, there's certainly some limited application there. I'm not a big fan of ice baths or anything like that. Other than pain relief, I don't really see much value to it. Anything that reduces circulation is probably not a good thing in my mind. I'm obviously a fan of functional mobility training, but that's more of a prehab type of thing. If you have movement deficits that are stopping you from performing your sport activity, I think it's a good idea. But otherwise, I'm fairly simple on recovery. Get enough sleep, do a proper cool down, and your body will adjust, your body will adapt.